the Monday after a weekend of all the pop-ups, and I'm just here to give you kind of like a recap, a rundown of this weekend and then the pop-up that I had the Wednesday before. So it was definitely a busy week. I'm exhausted, so I think today I'm gonna just go with some matcha to wake myself up. Okay, so also I never really drink cold stuff. I usually start my morning off with like a warm cup of tea or like just lukewarm room temperature water, so this is definitely new for me. But I don't like my matcha warm like that. I usually like it kind of cold with milk, so that's what we're gonna do. So I already washed my little brush here with some hot water, so that's all ready to go. So yeah, the first pop-up, it was at Unilever's office. I was invited about like a month or two ago, and like it was definitely a good experience. I was shocked when they reached out to me because I'm like, how'd they kind of find me, you know? But I think like once you start doing pop-ups here and there in various places, especially if you're like in New Jersey, there's not a lot of like, or maybe I'm just like still new to this, but there's not a lot of New Jersey small businesses that are Asian, I guess. I feel like they're mostly in New York, and I could totally be wrong. I feel like there is actually a lot in New Jersey. I just like don't know them, or like I'm still too new to the pop-up circuit. But anyways, my name got out there and they reached out to me and a few other people, and it was just like a really good experience. All right, hold on, let me get some water. So it took me like about, I want to say like an hour or so to get there. I had to take a train, and then I had to take an Uber for like 30 minutes. The train ride wasn't that bad, honestly. It was so quick. The only bad thing that happened that day was immediately when I got out of the car to get to the train station, my suitcase handle broke. So I had to carry the whole thing up and down stairs, and escalators didn't work for some reason that day for the train, so I had to like really lug it up, and like my suitcase was just really heavy, especially because it was like so big and everything. I like really packed it so that I only had to use one suitcase instead of like having a suitcase and a bag or something. But yeah, anyways, going there was fine. It was a really good experience. The office was very cool, and a lot of people showed up, like I guess because they had free lunch or something in the area where a lot of the other small businesses were. They kind of just shopped around while the line was like going, which was nice. I feel like people at the office was like very much wanting to buy something and like support your business. So I had a very good experience there. Plus, like, it was one of my first experiences working with like, not working, but like being with other vendors, especially Asian businesses. So it was nice to like just meet everyone, network, things of that sort. And then in terms of sales, like I did really well there. Like it's pretty comparable to my other pop-ups. And then I had one day break Thursday where I just kind of like, I had to unpack all my stuff because my suitcase broke, and then I repacked into a smaller bag that I had, and then I had to have a carry-on so that I didn't have to bring two suitcases into the city. So I had to repack. I restocked a little bit because I thought like being in the city, like there's gonna be so much traffic and like a lot of people are gonna come to my table, things like that. But on Friday, I had to leave pretty early, I think like 7:30 to get to the city by 10. Oh no, maybe I just woke up at 7:30 and then like I left a little bit later, because it only takes me about an hour and a half to get from like my place to where the shops were, which is in Brooklyn. And honestly, the first commute wasn't that bad. Like I'm so used to going to the city and everything. So going by bus and then a train from the bus stop to Brooklyn, it was not bad at all. I think one thing that I was like kind of taken aback was just the whole market experience. I feel like when you first like go into a pop-up event or a market fair or whatever, it's like you're so anxious about how you're gonna do. If it's like, for me at least, like if it's slow for the first like literally 5 minutes and I don't make a sale in 5 minutes, I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be like the worst day ever. And that was my whole mindset when I was there. And like, yeah, I think like I thought that because I'm in the city, there would be a lot of sales, there would be a lot of traffic, and like it did not happen at all. And I was kind of like bummed out a little bit because this is the first like event that I paid for, I guess. Yeah, I guess because I paid for it, I'm like, oh my god, I like have to make back my money and like plus some more because it was kind of expensive fee to just get in. Yeah, so I feel like because I paid for it, I felt like I had to make the money back somehow, and like it was just a lot of pressure, to be honest, because when I got there, it was so slow. I mean, like, it's not that it was slow. There was definitely a lot of traffic. It was just like no one really stopped to shop. Everyone was kind of just like on their phone walking past us, and it was kind of sad. Like, I feel like I should have definitely done a lot more research on like just this market or like this area in general. And it's not to say that like this place wasn't popular. It was definitely like a popular spot. It was just more of like, I thought that like this market had a lot more vendors and we would kind of be like in like an enclosed kind of space, which we were, but like there was only maybe like 10 of us and we were kind of like all in a row at like a I guess like a mall of some sort, but it's like in the city, so it's kind of like just like a crossway. I don't know the best way to describe it, but it was kind of like a crossway between two avenues that some people go to, and it's like next to a Trader Joe's, it's next to like a Target, so like you have to like pass us to get to Target, to get to Trader Joe's. So I thought like there was definitely traffic, there was just no one like really having the intent of shopping, which was unfortunate. And like I was talking to some of the other vendors as well. Some of them like do this event year after year, multiple times a year even, and they were all saying like it used to be so good. Like for some reason this year specifically, the one that I'm doing was really slow. Like everyone was complaining how incredibly like slow it was in terms of like people not stopping. And one of the reasons one of the vendors said it was kind of slow was because they usually do this event like the weekend before and also on the weekend of Mother's Day, and this year they decided to do it on Mother's Day weekend and then the week after, and I'm doing the week after. So like I think that's one of the biggest reasons why like no one's really shopping right now for anything. I think it's like Father's Day next, Memorial Day sales aren't coming, so I don't think anyone's like looking to buy at the moment unless it's like for themselves. So that was like my first day at the event. I was just kind of like bummed out about how slow everything was, and then I was like, shit, like I have 2 more days of this, and it's not like a short event either. It's like from 11 to 7, so it's a full 8 hours of you just kind of sitting there and trying to get people to buy from you. So I think like going forward, when it comes to like these events, I think a tip that one of the other vendors has given me is to do events where people have to like pay a ticket to go to the said event, and then you sell those items, because the people who buy tickets are more likely to like actually go there to shop for things. Whereas for this event, it's more of like if they're walking by and they see something they like, they'll buy it. But Yeah, just not enough people stopped by for this event. The second day, Saturday, was a lot better. A lot more people kind of stopped and shopped, but not like as much as my other pop-ups. Like my other pop-ups are maybe like, you know, 3 or 4 hours and I'll get like a certain amount. I feel like I made less than that like when working 8 hours, which is insane. And like I felt like it was kind of a waste of my time a little bit, but I definitely like honestly learned a lot from just going to this event. I talked to a lot of people, like the vendors and then like the customers, and like one big thing that stood out to me honestly was like my pricing. A lot of my customers who bought from me were saying how like I need to be charging more, which is insane because I've always been like so scared to raise my prices because I'm like, if I raise it, no one's gonna buy it. But they think that like I'm undercharging myself and like I'm worth more, which is nice to hear honestly as an artist, because I feel like we're always like not sure how much our stuff is worth. And so specifically my pins, like they're like, you're undercharging way too much, and like luckily some of them are like really nice and they like paid more than they had to, whereas like I feel bad for like taking the extra money, but like at the same time it's like, yeah, I did like work really hard on drawing this, manufacturing it, working on the backing cards and everything. So yeah, maybe I am undercharging. So I think for my next pop-ups, I'm definitely going to increase my prices a little bit, just to be in par with what I'm actually worth. So yeah, I feel like for a majority of the second day and even the third day, I learned my lesson about how slow the first day was, and I brought my iPad and I was just kind of like drawing on it and like killing some time. I was initially gonna read from my Kindle, but then I felt bad that like I was reading. I might as well like get some work done instead of like not paying attention to the customers, because I'm wanting to finish a page or something. So that's what I did. I drew a lot, and like honestly I feel like it worked out because people came up to me to see like what I was drawing, and then also I felt like it was less intimidating for the customers to like come up to my table because I wasn't really paying attention. Because I feel like if I'm like literally staring at them when like they're shopping, because I don't know where to like look when they're like just browsing my stuff, but if I'm just drawing and then they're shopping, I feel like they're more likely to buy something or like stay a little bit longer because they don't feel that pressure of me just like literally staring at them. Yeah, now that we are done with pop-ups, I think the next one I have is like early June, so I have some time on my hands to kind of just take a break. And when I say take a break, I mean like not go anywhere, just kind of work on other things like YouTube. And ironically my pins finally came like literally the day after all these pop-ups, so I'm kind of pissed off about that. But yeah, just kind of launching those. I have some like events. I have some like personal events for my friends. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna enjoy those moments first before like diving into another pop-up. But after that pop-up, I think I'm gonna also just like take a pause and like not do much this summer. Maybe a little bit in August, but I think I'm gonna take a break like June, July, just to like relax a little bit and then go hard again around the holiday time. Another takeaway from this pop-up is that like I don't know if I can go back to commuting like at least 3 times a week, because I feel like a lot of jobs that I'm looking at right now, they're like 2 or 3 days in the office, and a lot of the jobs that I'm looking at is in the city. So I'm like, oh my god, like I know that I'm like working from like 11 to 7, but at the same time it's like I woke up early just to get there at 11. So if I were to actually wake up and like show up at 9 every single day, that means I have to wake up even earlier. And then like I know I also will probably leave around 5 or 6, but that's not like that off from like me leaving at 7, you know. And it's probably even worse with the rush hour at 5. So realistically, I'm probably gonna leave at 7, just like not have to sit with anybody on the bus. And it was just like exhausting, I guess. Like in the morning, like I have my ritual of like, you know, going to the gym, having a slow morning, eating my breakfast, drinking my tea, and then after work, like, you know, I just like want to unwind and like watch a show or a movie. But I feel like I was unable to do any of those things. Like I got home and I literally had to eat dinner at like freaking 9 o'clock, and like typically I feel like I eat at 6 or like 7, you know. And so like having that kind of shift kind of ruined my routine a little bit, and I hated eating so late. And like I just like remember commuting to work, even to like Drury City or Hoboken for work back then. And like this was the lifestyle I lived, but except it was like every single day. This was a pre-pandemic, and like that was one of the reasons why I moved closer to the city in the first place back then, because like it was just unbearable to have to live that way and like work that way. So now I'm kind of reconsidering like the jobs that I'm trying to apply to. Like I feel like I definitely need a fully 100% remote job. If anything, it's like maybe once or twice a week, it's fine. But 3 times, oh my god, like I don't think I can ever do that again. So yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna end this vlog.